I wish to, on behalf of the government and people of Rivers State, join so many of our friends, colleagues, and leaders to formally welcome all of you to Port Harcourt for this annual conference of the Nigerian Bar Association. Law is not just an instrument for social control, it is as much as an instrument for social progress. And as a government, we believe and subject ourselves to the rule of law. We also believe in the legal profession and respect the men and women saddled with judicial powers and authority to dispense justice to everyone who comes before them across the country. We have severally identified with and responded positively to the request of the NBA as much as we can with friendship and respect. And this has already been done after Nigerian first Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Nabo Graham Douglas, SN. This law school is costing the Rivers State government the sum of 16 billion naira. In addition to the provision of administration and maintenance overheads of 10 million naira per month for the law school, we intend to also support the campus with sustainable investment, whose proceeds we insist must be applied for the limited benefit of this campus only. The investment is not for all general law schools, it is for Nigerian Law School campus, Port Harcourt. Furthermore, we are building the Rivers State Judicial Institute to complement the services of the National Judicial Institute to provide greater access to periodic training and retraining for judicial officers, magistrates, and senior court personnel from Rivers State. The extent and intensity of investment in the entire value chain of the law and justice subsectors of the state and national economy underscores the importance we attach to the rule of law and effective administration of justice in Rivers State. One thing is clear, the legal system remains a key factor in our collective drive for socio-economic progress, and it's only an unserious government that can elect to politicize the judiciary and expect meaningful development to take place. This is why our commitment as a government has been and will remain well towards having the best justice delivery system in the country in terms of access and affordability, institutional quality and integrity, as well as efficiency of the court rules, processes, and procedures. At this point in our development, we may yet be at where we are headed, but God knows we are doing great and profoundly impactful with our achievements in making Rivers State an admirable and preferred judicial hub in the country. Let me also be clear that we are not fools for throwing Rivers money after federal institutions and projects. Our passion to contribute to national development is the sole reason, and what we have done for the federal judiciary, we have equally done for several other federal institutions, including the security agencies, Wike, JAM, FRSC, immigration and international development agencies and partners, including the United Nations, domiciled in Rivers State. After all, the residents of the state are the primary and major beneficiaries of the services and projects being provided by federal agencies and institutions in the state. And so, while some other states and the federal government may continue to pay lip service to the critical issues facing the judiciary and our legal system, the Rivers State, under our watch, will not be part of that. Let me also add that it is not enough for the federal government to issue Executive Order 10 and do nothing more pragmatic about resourcing the judiciary to the fullest possible extent, including enhanced judicial welfare and conditions of service. At any rate, Executive Order 10 is an oppressive erosion of the power and autonomy of the sub-national governments to administer their own judicial budgets according to prevailing economic indices. Hence, the decision to seek judicial interpretation of Order 10 is necessary. It is for similar reasons, for strengthening fiscal federalism, that we are in court to determine the proper authority under our Constitution for imposing and collecting the value-added tax in our country. These are very nationally sensitive issues, and Nigerians are eagerly waiting for the final outcome of the judicial process. We therefore wonder why the Supreme Court is not giving accelerated hearing to these matters, and respectfully request what this should be done in the national interest. For us, we must stop this artificiality and work collectively towards building a strong legal system, well-resourced and independent judiciary, and effective administration of justice for our country. Once more, the federal government cannot continue to undermine the welfare of the country's judicial officers with poor remuneration and attract the best hands and excellence into our judicial system. The struggle for a better deal for our judicial officers is one the NBA must champion with utmost priority and commitment before it's too late in the day to rescue it from total collapse. This now brings me to the theme of this conference, which simply says, taking the lead, which I would think is more of an aspiration for the future. A little moment of introspection will reveal that the NBA is not what it used to be before the estimation of Nigerians in terms of the quality and commitment of its disposition to the struggle for the rule of law, social justice, and national development. I'm not criticizing the executive of this. I'm talking about NBA as a whole. So nobody should think I'm criticizing my brother Abata. No. Since the birth of this nation, Nigeria have relied on the law and our legal system to settle disputes, prevent crime, promote democracy, protect human rights, and regulate virtually all aspects of both private and public life. From independence to date, our constitutions have managed to guarantee, preserve, and protect citizens' libertarian rights and freedoms, and the 1999 Constitution is no exception as it reflects the essence of democracy, the rule of law, and social justice. As we all know, democratic principles are inherent in the right to self-determination, the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association, and the right to participate in the governance of the society, either directly or through freely elected representatives. Similarly, the rule of law and social justice are expressed in the constitutional provisions that guarantee equality of all before the law, the entitlement to equal protection of the law without discrimination, the protection against arbitrary interference with the freedoms of citizens, and the accessory rights to substantial justice before the ordinary course of the land. However, while rights have meaning only when citizens can enjoy them, the desire for freedom, democracy, and social justice is indeed the birthright and natural aspiration of every Nigerian citizen. As a profession and as a pluralistic assemblage of learned men, the NBA has greater responsibility to promote and protect the rights of Nigerians at all times and in all circumstances. But the central question is whether the NBA has been living up to its credo and responsibility. While I will leave us to be the judge, my own personal conclusion is that for years now, the NBA has focused less on promoting and fighting for the values of good governance, democracy, judicial independence, human rights, and the rule of law. These are some of the concerning facts. Never in our political history has Nigeria been so badly governed and denied of good governance, with the federal government woefully failing in its basic duties to provide for the well-being and security of its own citizens, as we have experienced in the last 6 years. On a daily basis, the economic, social, and political rights, including the rights to personal security, freedom of speech, association, decent and peaceful protest, as well as the right to personal liberty, are being violated with impunity by the present federal government and its security apparatus. The invasion on personal liberty has been brazen and indiscriminate, such that even judges of the Superior Court, including Supreme Court justices, have, in the recent past, been victims of midnight assaults on their premises and subjection to unlawful arrest and imprisonment. Lately, the new default trend is to tax security risks to innocent Nigerians and opposition elements and use the immigration authority to seize their international passports without a prior court order. In the face of sustained political intimidation and pressure for the federal government, lack of judicial courage is becoming widespread among judges, which is undermining public confidence, discrediting the justice system, and causing irreparable damage to the fabric of our Constitution and the rule of law. We all agree that justice delayed is justice denied. And in most other countries, criminal matters from the institution of proceedings to final determination are concluded within a time frame of 6 months. However, whether in civil or criminal trial, the Nigerian legal system is far slower, spreading swaths of injustice along its course with unjustifiable delays and burdensome costs on the state, lawyers, and litigants. There are many manifestations of social injustices feeding extremist sentiments and resentments across the country, even as many more wrong things are going on within the legal system and the larger society. Indeed, there are a plethora of troubling issues with our legal system, from the quality of legal education to the quality and personal character of those who are appointed to exercise judicial powers, from the quality of justice administration, including the existing court rules, processes, and procedures, to the assignment of cases and the resort to special or constitution of regular appeal panels, and from the quality of pretrial investigation to the trial process, and the quality of conduct of trial and defense lawyers to the quality of judgments and justices being dished out from the inferior to the superior courts. Unfortunately, NBA becomes part of the problem when it remains discomfortingly indifferent and cowardly voiceless to the many issues and challenges affecting good governance, democracy,